BuzzFeed, the pinnacle of journalism, a distinguished example of the finest reporting. Their compositions are thought-provoking, powerful, and demonstrate the highest levels of originality. These esteemed writers stand at the forefront of journalism. But things have gone downhill for these journalists.
Well, the past couple weeks have been pretty awful for American journalists. Hundreds of reporters and editors at places like Huffington Post and BuzzFeed lost their jobs.
For some reason, people just didn't think BuzzFeed articles were worth reading. Shocking, I know. Since there was less traffic on the website, that meant less ad revenue for the company, which resulted in BuzzFeed firing 15% of all employees. This was one of the largest media layoffs ever. So who is to blame for all of this? Well, according to the fired journalists, it wasn't their fault at all. They thought it was actually because of discrimination. This was just a targeted scheme against women, people of color, and the LGBT community. Well, except this already describes most of BuzzFeed. But anyways, these journalists now have to find something else to do other than telling people what Disney princess they are. At the same time though, something else was brewing behind the scenes. Turns out that 4chan, a site infamous for coordinating numerous pranks and pulling off dangerous stunts, found out about the media layoffs. To them, these cringe media journalists were the enemy. So 4chan saw this as a golden opportunity for another raid. Together, they headed over to Twitter and spammed the journalists with the following phrase: "Learn to code." But let's take a step back. Why did they choose this phrase? What was so triggering about learn to code? Well, the origins of this date back to around 2014. At the time, coal mining jobs were on a rapid decline due to strict environmental regulations. A lot of miners lost their jobs, which is what they've been trained to do their entire lives. But media journalists had a groundbreaking solution for these laid off workers. Guys, just learn to code. I mean, what's the difference? If you can mine coal, you can definitely do something as easy as writing code. And you know what's an even better idea? Let's all publish articles on this so we can help turn coal miners into coders. That probably wasn't the smartest thing to do. To a good number of people, these journalists came off as arrogant elites talking down to ordinary people. So fast forward a couple of years, now the tables have turned. With the mass media layoffs in place, it was now time for the journalists to find jobs. And you can probably guess what happened. People on 4chan started to flood their posts with "learn to code" as a way to mock the journalists. By the way, I don't condone this behavior, but the smartest thing to do as a journalist would be to just sit back and let it pass. But who am I kidding though? They quickly took these tweets as targeted threats. Some of them were able to figure out that 4chan was behind it and quickly put the blame. Wait, hold on a second. I just got an important tweet. According to this person, tweeting "learn to code" will result in a suspension. Why? Because it's abusive behavior and violates their terms of service. Great, so now anyone can get kicked off of Twitter, even for harmlessly mentioning "learn to code," which, by the way, actually happened. But after this dumpster fire, things started to die down. Soon the trolls from 4chan retreated from the scene as they had more important things to attend to. And for the journalists, well, no one really knows for sure. I guess some of them found jobs? Ooh, this guy makes cooking videos on YouTube. That's pretty interesting. And for the rest that are still unemployed, maybe they should learn to code. Nah, I'm just kidding. Unless